Little sloppy, but that's okay. Yeah. Ooh, clean. Oh no. It's interesting because there was one video of the stream where I was talking a lot about, oh no. I was talking a lot about like God and how he's helped me out on my journey, and this lady on YouTube found it and was like, I watched this sermon and I heard your sermon while playing Celeste after, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I might share this one on Twitch too, or on YouTube too, if that's cool with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Might be somebody that can really help, and I would like to re-listen to it again, especially if we get the PB, which I'm pretty sure is gonna happen. It's just not getting too caught up in anything. From stillness of the key is the key. It was talking a little bit about just not getting too caught up in any one outcome, just being thankful for whatever it is and just kind of accepting and letting your brain go to the void of emptiness, because that's where a lot of times getting really good stuff done happens, is when you're not thinking about it. You're just kind of rolling with it. Because once you're thinking about it, that's usually when you make mistakes. That's usually when you get a little upset about things outside of your control happen, But.
Yeah, I would definitely say that is another thing where there's like a delicate balance, because of course there is a level of importance to intentionality and making the correct decisions in regards to what it is that you're doing. Like if I were to compare this to art, it's important that you decide the right place or the right color for like your lighting or other things in order to set the mood of your piece correctly. But at the same time, there is also a level of freedom that comes from not overthinking about things, because at a certain point it's more important that you make a decision at all.
Yeah, well said, man. Because you don't know how long that window is going to be open. I mean, the window might look like it's going to stick around, but windows can vanish, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Just, enjoy it while it lasts. Learn as much as you can from the experience, and I think a lot of it, so much of it, is just choosing gratitude. It's like
absolutely.
Just with all the things, it's like we met in college. We didn't have to meet in college. That didn't have to happen. I'm glad it happened. There was some interesting things that happened from that. I met one of your friends at a Smash tournament, and then that kind of led to more interactions happening, and then slowly things just kind of came into the picture, and now like a year or like a couple years later, here we are talking about God and how he's been helping us out on a live stream to our one viewer. But who knows what happens with the YouTube video? I don't know. But it's neat. You just have no idea what's up God's sleeve. You have no idea what cards he can put there for you. But do need to keep working on it, doing our part. He can't steer a parked vehicle. And I realized that I definitely need to pick up the pace, because I remember where I was at when I got to like the last part. So the last part of this like is the part with all the flags and stuff. That usually takes me like 5 minutes. So to do that in this run, I would probably need to get like be at like 47 by the time I got to that part. So getting these snowballs is pretty useful, because it basically gives you a second jump or a third jump. But yeah, just a one day at a time thing. But I do think that is so much of it is just gratitude. I mean, for me, like, I'm really thankful I was born in this. Whoo! No, there's no way. There's no way we would do that twice. I was like, shoot, dude, what in the world? It's like there's no way. I was like, but maybe there's a way. But yeah, there's a lot of there's multiple ways to do the right thing. I think sometimes people forget that.
No, absolutely. And like, this is like the number one thing I would tell like anybody who is a Christian, because people get so caught up in like, you know, like this church, that church, or like, you know, there's things wrong with this church, so you can't trust it, or this church or that church. But the truth is, there's things wrong with every single church. And that's because it's run by humans. And humans are, you know, inherently flawed. And so, you know, whatever system we make is going to be wrong. And that's okay, because, you know, life isn't about not making mistakes. And that's, you know, what God has, you know, been showing me a lot in life, is that it's not about not making the mistakes, but it's about, you know, how you react to the mistakes. You know, whether or not you become like an angry or bitter person, or whether or not, you know, you're learning from these things, or it's a lot less about, I guess this is how I would put it. It's a lot less about the subject and a lot more about the verb. You know, it's a lot less about what is happening and a lot more about what you are doing. Yeah, so I would say, like, number one thing that's, you know, I think that a lot of Christians need to learn is that the importance of, like, and the wideness of the body of Christ, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is when Jesus came to earth, he didn't start a religion, but he started a discipleship. And the reason why is because, you know, he is the truth. You know, and the important thing is that you are living like him. And so really, at the end of the day, like, whatever church you belong to, you are, you know, if you're living the life of, like, a Christian, the way that, you know, Jesus wants you to, then you're all doing the same thing and trying to live more like Jesus.
Yeah, and there's a lot of power in just you know, just kind of trusting that you don't know everything, but God does, and that he will take care of things that we do not know how to take care of. We don't understand. We want to understand all these things logically. There's a lot of things we just don't understand right now. You know, if God has done something in your life, there's probably not going to be any flaw in that, even if the person he's put in your life obviously is flawed, but his plan will continue to go forward, whether you could be like, oh yeah, I messed up or something. His plan will continue to happen. He'll find a way to make those blessings come. But yeah, here we are. We are at this is the last. It's the last part. It's kind of crazy. It really is telling too, because like in one of the runs, I was vibing more or less. I guess depending how we talk about vibing with the music. And this one maybe vibing a little bit more of like the overall conversation and where I feel like the run has gone and where it's going. But the one that I'm doing way better at is the one where I have somebody to talk to the entire way through. So I think there's something telling about that. There's like that quote, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. Want to go far, go together. But
yeah, for sure. And I mean, again, it kind of also ties back in with what you were saying earlier of like, when you think too much, it gets in the way of doing. And I guess another way to say this is, as like an artist, a lot of people go through something called art block, or like they say this about writing too. You go through like writing block of like, oh, I can't figure out what to write. And a lot of the time, I don't go through art block. I just don't. I just drop. And I think the reason for that is people get caught up in thinking over things too much. And I think that's because a lot of time people want to make something that's perfect. And what happens is people aren't capable of perfect, at least not yet. And so when you're trying to accomplish perfect, then you're just going to be running in circles until you find it, which is going to probably be way too long. And you're not going to end up doing anything. And I think, in a certain sense, as well in like speedrunning of Celeste, when you are thinking too much about what's happening on the screen, then more of your focus is being put towards that than what you're actually doing.
Yeah, really all I'm doing is twiddling my thumbs. But yeah, it's true. When you think too much or you look at the timer, I think is one of the big ones for me. When I look at the clock, it's easy to get caught up in it, and my brain starts to go all these different places, and I'm like, oh no. But I think the thing I've really come to just accept for myself, it's like my love for myself is never like on the line. It's like I make mistakes, I do a lot of things, I dare greatly, and so if I fail greatly, well, that will happen when you dare greatly. That's just kind of a part of the whole dare greatly thing, is there will be times when you will fail greatly, and I have 100% done that, but it's like I'm not going to let that get in the way of how I feel about myself, because I've let that happen before and let my happiness generally be decided from something outside of my control, and that was a sad way to live, man. Sad way to live. So yeah, I'm with you though. Right? Lately I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna take action on this and trust the path will be provided. Trust I don't have to like think all this through. Trust that God already has this figured out, and I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to give it any of my energy whatsoever. So there's
darn diagonals.
Yeah, that happened twice. So
that's like the main weakness of old D-pads. It's very easy to get accidental diagonal inputs.
But yeah, the love is real for myself. and sunshine, orange shadow, and that is what I have decided for myself. Is that it will be there for myself. I think we PB'd. Dude, we PB'd by like literally a second. Let's go.
That's pretty great.
I'll take it. We'll take it. 1548. It was a little crazy at the end, especially with the 2 diagonals, man. Oh gosh. But I was like, I'm not going to look at the timer. Because I think if I looked at the timer, like I didn't look at the timer after we got on summit. Or like after I'd gotten at the summit of the summit, 3,000 meters. I think if I'd looked at it, then I probably would have missed it. But like we'll take a 1 second PB all day long. I will take that all day long.
Even tying PB is like insane, honestly.
Yeah, so it was a really good run up to summit, and then I just have to get my summit faster. But yeah, it was we were cutting it close. I was like, yeah, we got to hit like 15, like whatever to tie PB or whatever. And it's like, oh boy, yeah, here we are. Now that was really close too, especially at the end, man. That was it's crazy. Just like one of the craziest experiences of my life. I'll just share this really quick because I feel like this is a good moment to do this because you're just looking at the mountains, looking out in the game. But I had on my cross country team, my coach was like, hey, I really want you to break like 23 minutes on your 5K. And at the time, my best 5K was probably like 23, 24. And the tough thing with running a 5K, at least in high school, was, at least for me, I usually wasn't wearing a watch. So I didn't really know what the time was. But I remember going to our last meet and running with this guy that I've ran with before. And we're just running together. And I had this clear thought, Dallin, if you stay with this person, there's no chance that you will get below 23 minutes. And so I zoomed away from him. Not really. Just barely like inked by him. And then I realized that we were running in this race of all these people. So there was like at least a couple hundred racers in front of me, So it's like easy to be like, oh yeah, we're doing good. Me and this guy are running. Yeah. It's like, there's all these people in front of me. And so I'm finding this new ocean of people and running with them. And yeah, then when it came down to it, it was very similar to this, where it came down to it, you do these different laps and stuff, and I got toward the end, and there's a part where you go up this hill, but then at the very end, you go up the same hill, but you go straight and you just sprint straight through the finish. And I could see the clock at the top, and it said 22:51. I could see it, and I was like, holy crap. So I literally just like booked it, man. And I got 22:59. So that was like one of the most crazy moments, at least for me, of my life. I was like, dude, if I hadn't left when I did, if I hadn't left that other person, then there's no way, because they finished like a minute or so after me. So it's like important to know your goals, what you're going after. And I mean, at least with this is obviously just it's interesting because you pushed me to get this goal. And yeah, I definitely need to improve my summit to get it lower. But yeah, it was kind of mind-blowing to me because my coach was like, yeah, good job, man. It's like, hey, 22:59, that's faster than 23 minutes. It's not much faster, but hey, it's faster. So yeah, like I'll take a 1 second PB all day long. So yeah, be interesting to upload this to YouTube and see if it gets any reactions and such. I think we talked about a lot of really good things, and yeah, it was fun. I liked doing it. It was just fun, just chatting it up and seeing where it went. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was just crazy there at the end. I was like, oh man, this really is like down to last couple seconds. But yeah, I'm trying to PB every. I'm just trying to get my time down and see how well I can get it. But yeah, I think I'm kind of at that point where I need to learn some more advanced tech if I want to get much faster. But
Yeah, and I mean, you're not working on anybody's schedule but your own, so.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, if I wanted to be a crazy person, I could stream Celeste every day, and I know I would burn out, and I know I wouldn't like it as much, and so
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just not. Maybe back in the day at some point, but for me right now, it's just we're just gonna just kind of vibe, do my thing, and have my time where I go for it, and then just yeah, just kind of keep it in its place more or less, because you know, to get to affiliate on Twitch, you need to have 3 viewers and concurrent for like a month, and I definitely have not had that. I definitely have the followers, and I definitely have the streaming time, but I do not have the consistent people. But it's interesting though, because I think last time I was into streaming, at least on this account, on my solo account, I was pretty focused on reaching those numbers, and realized how much it was helpful for me, like streaming and talking and such. But now I'm just kind of like, I'm just in it, and we'll see what happens. But it's fun. I mean, it's fun. Video games can elicit an emotional reaction from me that is tough to get from other mediums. So
Yeah,
for me,
for sure.
that's useful. I mean, obviously there's things way more important, like work and other things, but video games will always have a place for me. There's been times where I've sort of tried taking them out, being like, oh, this is not useful, and it's a big part of me, you know. It definitely has helped me with my overall perspectives of life, and I think anything can be overdone. I mean, there's times when Smash 3DS came out where I'd play online for like 4 or 5 hours at a time, you know, kind of thing, and it was really not great. And I wasn't streaming it, I wasn't recording it or anything. I was just playing it and taking all the vibes and getting excited. But anyway, yeah. So that was that. And it's really funny that literally nobody was here, but you know what? That's completely fine. Yeah. So if we look at yeah, it's like literally like 1 second faster. But it's interesting, this one is 7 deaths less than this one. So Toad Silver came in clutch. Toad Silver figured it out. Let's go. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for jumping on, man. Where you just have the one viewer, I don't really think it's worth rating. Plus my energy levels are I'm a little wiped.
Yeah, it might be time to call it here then.
No, I think so.
It was really fun.
It was a good time.
I mean, gotta end it on the PB, right?
Yeah. No, I will take I'll take that for sure. That was dope. So, but yeah, I think for it to happen again next week, because I do plan on streaming again next week. I don't know. Maybe we could have like a multi-call or something. Have like 3 people maybe talking at the same time instead of 2, or I don't know. We'll see.
Well, you let me know what your plans are, and then we'll see what ends up happening.
See what lines up. Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you, and yeah, I guess we'll just end the stream here, and yeah, that's good.
Alrighty, thanks for having me.
You got it, man. Thank you.